CrackBerry.com.
Hey guys, Adam here for CrackBerry.com. Today we are going to do a quick overview of BlackBerry 10 in its current incarnation, which is with the 10.2 and 10.2.1 updates. Both of those updates brought tons and tons of features to BlackBerry 10, so it's kind of got this whole new feature set to it, and we're going to try to go over as many as we can. There's a ton of stuff to cover. We've wrote about a decent amount of it before, but we're going to give a quick overview in the video here of all the new and exciting features that you'll find. So one of the first ones we actually have is this picture password. It's kind of a simpler security measure instead of typing in your password on the full keyboard, but you can pick an image. There's a couple preloaded ones, or you can pick anything on your device. And then you have this number grid, and you'll set it up and you basically drag the number of your choosing to a certain spot on the picture, and that's how you unlock your device. So it's a very cool new feature, and it's pretty secure for the most part. A lot of people, can't really guess it. They can crack it eventually, but it'll, probably take them quite a few tries. So fun to have. From our lock screen here, you can see we have lock screen notifications. So I have some Facebook notifications and a couple email ones there. And these you can actually tap directly into now. So if we were to open this message, you can tap it and it opens right to your message. So it's not going to just swipe open to your home screen or to your inbox. It actually goes to that exact message. So be it, through Facebook or to your hub or whatever it may be, you're going to jump straight into the message. Very cool. And as we scroll through the hub here, you can see we also have these new these red flags or highlights on some of the messages. And this is actually to notify of the priority hub. It's a whole new section under your main hub, and this is for your high priority notifications. So it's going to show you, things from certain senders, if senders have the last name as you, or messages that are marked as high priority and things like that. So you can actually filter them a lot easier. If you get tons of email, like a lot of us do, you'll have this separate inbox essentially that'll show you all your priority messages. And it brings us to another cool feature here within the hub is actually there's a pinch filter. So you can change the pinch filter to your priority hub, unread messages, draft messages, sent messages, things like that. I have it set for priority here. So if we go back out and we go through the whole hub, then if we pinch, you can see how it drops down right to the priority hub messages, and then we simply swipe back and it pops back open. And that works for, like I said, for unread messages, draft messages, things like that. So you can change up what you want to view there. Very cool. Another new addition to the hub is this attachment view. And this is a tab and shows you all of the attachments that were with your messages, be them images, spreadsheets, zip files, whatever it may be. So you don't have to go scrolling through your entire hub trying to seek out a certain message just to find the attachment. You can click into your attachment view and everything is there just like that. You can switch it up to a grid view if you want to make it a little easier. There's a search button there. And then you can just tap on an item there to open it, or if you want to reshare it or anything like that, you're more than welcome to do so. And then if we jump into an email here, we'll do it the easy way. We can pop back into one, and you actually have this tab now, so you can scroll back and forth between your messages. So this wasn't here before, but it actually just gives you some navigation arrows to go back and forth, and you can disable that if you want. So you don't have to jump back out into your main hub and then scroll back through to get to your messages. You can just tap and go one to the next. So definitely a cool little bonus. And there's also, within your search feature, the remote search has been beefed up a little bit. So you can now search messages that are older than 60 days, which you couldn't do before. So that's super handy. And also brought back, which a lot of people wanted from BlackBerry 7, which used to be there, BlackBerry 7 and before. You have the option to delete items from your hub just on the device, or the hub in the mail server. So you couldn't do that before. You could only delete them from one, but now you have the option, and you can set that as the default, which will stick as you carry through. So it just kind of makes things a little bit easier and helps out a bit. We'll jump into a message real quick. You can see there's new text selection. So if we tap, it'll select the word, and actually if you tap and hold, then it'll go to the sentence, and if you hold longer, it goes to the paragraph. So it's very cool. And then you have your copy menu here. We have a share button, so you can tap that to share. There's a select all, and then we have the one for copy on the side. And the sharing features are actually cool in BlackBerry 10 now, because it's it learns from what you share to most. So say we share stuff to Twitter, which is kind of far down on the list. If I do that often enough, it's actually going to learn from that and it'll move Twitter up on my share list. So when I go to share images or files or whatever it may be, it's going to show my most used services first on the list, which is very cool. So that's part of the adaptive sharing. And under our notifications, we have a couple new things. So if we jump in here, we can see there's one called instant previews, which are cool. These are basically little toast messages that'll pop down. So if we get a BBM message or a text message or email or Facebook or something like that, you can see there's actually little notifications that'll pop down from the top. And in the case of BBM or SMS, we'll be able to reply directly from that toast message. But these will pop up anywhere on the device. So whether you're in Facebook or Instagram or the browser, you'll be able to see these notifications. And you can change them here globally through the setting. And for the individual apps, you can actually tweak them a little bit more. So you can turn them off. So if you wanted to disable Twitter altogether, you can do that. Or you can set it to priority only, which will go along with your priority contacts. So if my priority contacts are my wife and Kevin and Blaze, then the only tweets that I'll see through my instant previews are from those contacts. So, and then also here, if we jump into our contacts under notifications, you can see now you have a full set of custom notifications for your contacts. So before we could only change up a couple things, but now you actually have the option to change the alert tone for text messages, phone calls, emails, BBM, and other messages. So you can set up individual notifications across the board. So you can have a different ringtone, for your wife than from your boss, and the same for text messages and BBM. So jump into our calendar now. And if we go into the settings, you can see under general, we have this option for dark background. The dark background was something that was introduced on the BlackBerry Q10 to work with the screen to save battery. A lot of people wanted it on the Z10 and the Z30 as well. So it's been put into a couple apps. The calendar is one. So if we go ahead and turn that on, then when we exit the calendar and start it up again, you can see that now we have the black background. So it's, just another customization option for people. It gives you a little bit more of a setting to play around with. And in our settings, we have our quick settings menu. So you can see here there's a couple additions to the settings menu. And this one's actually fun because you can tweak up the quick settings and customize them the way you want. So you can see here's the full list of available settings. Some are checked, some aren't. So if you want to add to the list, you just tap to select it and it'll turn blue. And if you want to remove some, you can do so. And you can also rearrange them. So the ones you use most, so say we use notifications most, we can drag up to the top. And then when we save that, then in your quick settings, you're going to see the notifications is moved up. The settings and rotation lock are locked up top there, but everything else you can kind of play around with. So you can tweak this to your liking. So if you don't use Bluetooth or you don't care about your brightness settings, you can take them out, or you can throw things in and just fill up the whole menu, whatever works easiest. And also down here is the updated device monitor, which shows your battery percentage. Your battery percentage you can actually see now when you swipe up to your peak view. So you can see up top there, the meter changes from the regular battery icon to the percentage icon. But in your device monitor, you'll see the battery status there, and then we can tap into it. And this is a native built-in app. It just gives you all your status for your device. So you can see we have our battery, CPU, memory, storage. So you can see anything and everything that you want about your device. So it's just, pretty handy to have if you want to monitor what's going on. Some people don't really care, but if, you're having issues with your device or something along those lines, you can jump in there and check things out. So it's definitely helpful in that regard. So there's actually a new call screen as well. So the previous screen, it was this kind of clunky swipe up, swipe down screen. But now when we get an incoming call, you'll actually be able to, you swipe side to side. So we do a left to answer and a right to ignore. And you can see how the whole bar kind of changes up when the call comes in. So you'll know, off the bat which one you're doing. So we can swipe either way, which is very cool. So it's just, kind of these different little UI tweaks throughout the OS that make things a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and jump into the clock app. This one is one of the native apps that was updated. The weather app was updated. There's some browser tweaks, camera tweaks, things like that, which just help the overall experience. And you can see we can actually add multiple alarms now. So if we tap up top here, you can see that there's more than one alarm set. Kind of something stupid that just wasn't there before, but now it's been added in. So you can put in multiple alarms. It's kind of a no-brainer, and it's definitely something that we're extremely thankful to have now. So perhaps the biggest, most badassest feature of BlackBerry 10 now is that you can install Android applications over the air. So that means you can install them directly from your device. You don't have to hook up to a computer and sideload them like we did in the past. You can just install them straight on your device. from any number of sources. There's third-party app stores like Snap here, which is installed, and that's basically just an app store that aggregates these Android apps for BlackBerry users and makes them easier to install. So you can see I already have a couple here, like Instagram, and my Nexia app is Android and the Fios one there. And you can actually install them through anything. So just needs to open the APK essentially. So I have a couple stashed away here in Dropbox, but you can do them through the browser or email them to yourself or whatever it may be. So I have the Pebble Beta APK here, and we'll tap on that to open it. And you can see you just get this install screen here. So all you have to do is tap install. There's really no tricks to it. Everything's pretty much laid out. We'll just accept the terms there. And then it runs through the install process and you're done. And like I said before, a lot of the apps work. There's a decent handful that don't, but we have pretty good lists in the forums and other places, so you'll know what works and what doesn't. When it's done, just tap open, and then it fires up your Android app, and that's it. And then it'll sit in there on your device. It just looks like any other app, and it just runs, and it's fantastic with the updated Android runtime. It's kind of closed the app gap quite a bit, so it's pretty amazing. So that's pretty much it. There's plenty more. You can check out our master changelog for all the incremental changes throughout the OS versions, and we have a master log of everything there and the exhaustive list of everything that's new in OS 10.2. FM radio, direct install of APK files, face detection in the camera, airplane mode, updated Twitter app, updated weather app, Wolfram alpha commands, all kinds of new stuff in the drop-down settings. The list goes on and on, but for sake of trying not to keep this too long, I know a lot of you probably stopped watching at this point. I do apologize, but that's pretty much it. So there's plenty more to come on that. You can check out more on BlackBerry 10.2.1 at crackberry.com. Thanks, guys.